The confession, it started on an ordinary Friday evening when my wife, Ayesha, casually dropped a bombshell. Over dinner, she stared at me, smirking slightly, and said, "You're boring," so I cheated. My fork froze mid-air. My mind went blank. For a few seconds, then a mix of disbelief, anger, and heartbreak surged through me. I wanted to scream, cry, and demand answers, but I stayed silent, listening. She continued, oblivious to the storm she had unleashed. Every word cut deeper than any weapon. I realized in that instant that my life had changed forever. Trust was gone, and revenge had become inevitable. I sat there in stunned silence, heart pounding. What? I managed to choke out. She laughed nervously, saying it was a one-time mistake, nothing serious, just boredom. My mind spun. Months of shared dreams, plans, and intimacy had apparently meant nothing. I felt my entire world collapse. I knew that reacting with anger would only fuel her amusement. Instead, I stayed calm, hiding the storm inside. I needed evidence, proof, and a plan. This wasn't just betrayal. It was humiliation. I realized I could either let her ruin me or turn the tables with calculated, devastating revenge. That night, I discreetly checked her phone, suspicious but careful. I discovered intimate messages, photos, and secret call logs between her and a man named Fahad. My heart sank. This wasn't a one-time mistake, it was a pattern of deception. I saved every screenshot, recorded timestamps, and documented every detail. Instead of confronting her immediately, I chose strategy over emotion. If she thought she could cheat and walk away laughing, she had misjudged me. I now had the tools to expose her, protect my dignity, and ensure her betrayal carried real consequences. Revenge wasn't just emotional, it would be precise and unavoidable. I spent the next few days planning carefully. I contacted my lawyer, arranged financial protection, and prepared for separation if needed. I also subtly informed Fahad's wife of the affair, making sure she had access to evidence. My goal wasn't just revenge, it was justice. I wanted Ayesha to feel the full weight of her actions, socially, emotionally, and financially. Her casual laughter about cheating would cost her dearly. By the time I confronted her, everything would be documented and undeniable. Patience and planning were my allies, and I intended to use them fully. One evening, I called Ayesha to sit with me privately. I slid my phone across the table, showing screenshots of her texts and photos with Fahad. Her confident smirk disappeared instantly, replaced by panic. I can explain, she stammered, but I interrupted softly. No explanation needed. Your actions speak louder than words. Silence filled the room. I calmly told her about Fahad's wife and my lawyer's preparations. Her face drained of color. This wasn't yelling or threats. It was the power of evidence and timing. She had thought her betrayal was hidden, but now she faced reality with nowhere to run. Within hours, Ayesha's betrayal was exposed to both our social circle and Fahad's wife. Chaos erupted quietly but effectively. Friends and family were shocked, and her social credibility crumbled. She tried begging, pleading, and explaining, but the evidence spoke louder than excuses. Meanwhile, I focused on protecting myself, finances, assets, and emotional boundaries. Her choice to cheat because of boredom had unleashed a chain reaction she hadn't anticipated. Social humiliation, guilt, and isolation followed swiftly. I didn't need to raise my voice or cause a scene. The calculated exposure of her betrayal ensured her downfall. I filed for separation with all documented evidence. Custody, finances, and shared assets were handled strategically. Ayesha had no room to manipulate the situation. Her apologies fell on deaf ears. Her betrayal wasn't just emotional, it had legal and financial consequences. By carefully preparing, I made sure she would feel the weight of her actions. Every attempt to regain control failed. My revenge was methodical, precise, and complete. While she had acted impulsively for entertainment, I responded with strategy, dignity, and patience, proving that calm and calculated action is far more powerful than anger. Ayesha's friends, family, and colleagues quickly learned the truth. She faced isolation, embarrassment, and social rejection. Her reputation, once polished, was now tainted. Meanwhile, I remained composed, calm, and collected. The contrast between us was stark. She had acted impulsively, thinking cheating would be thrilling and consequence-free. Instead, she faced the inevitable results: humiliation, broken trust, and social collapse. The subtle, strategic approach ensured that her actions had maximum impact, leaving her to reflect on her mistakes. My silent, calculated revenge was complete. Without me lifting a finger in anger, I focused on myself and my personal growth. I strengthened my relationships with friends and family, pursued long-neglected passions, and regained confidence. Slowly, the emotional pain healed, replaced by clarity, peace, and self-respect. Meeting genuine people reminded me that integrity and loyalty matter most. While Ayesha struggled with the consequences of her boredom-fueled betrayal, I thrived. I reclaimed control of my life, dignity, and happiness. The person she underestimated emerged stronger, wiser, and fulfilled. Her impulsive mistake had unintentionally created my opportunity to grow, rebuild, and show the power of calculated resilience. Looking back, her confession, "You're boring, so I cheated," was devastating, but it taught me patience, strategy, and the power of evidence. Revenge isn't about shouting or retaliation, it's about precise action and letting truth expose deceit. Ayesha lost credibility, respect, and social trust while I preserved mine. Her impulsive choices had consequences she hadn't imagined. Today, I live peacefully, focusing on personal growth, happiness, and meaningful relationships. The ultimate lesson: betrayal may sting, but calm, calculated action ensures justice, dignity, and long-term satisfaction. Cheating always comes with a price, and hers was devastatingly steep.